First temple. Let's go. We're looking for purple. Yes. Haruna is a core unit. You guys see it's purple. All right. Oh, 2. Okay. 3 Azusas in 50 pulls. Where's my Hanako? Oh, purple again. Okay, who's this? Oh! Karen's pretty hot though. I would like for you to suss. I would like for you to suss out the traitor hiding among the makeup work club. All right, let's talk about the guide for how to beat this boss. This is Hieronymus. It's the newest raid that just got released in the patch. Basically, the first phase of this fight is super easy. There's not much going on besides that Green Lantern, which I'll talk about in a second. I'll post the full listing of his abilities on the screen in case you want to read through those and see the numbers there. But basically, there's going to be 2 AoEs that are chip damage on every student you have on the field. For simplicity and timing, I'm just using one person here, and that is small damage. And then there's going to be a bigger damage that's a yellow circle that really can't be avoided. It covers nearly the entire screen. It comes down from the sky and hits all of your students. And then he's also going to put sometimes a dot on one of your students. You can't really miss it because it's a black and red number counting down from 10 that is above the student's head. It's like a curse. It does a very, very tiny dot, but then when the dot hits 0 from 10 seconds, it's going to do a larger AoE around that student. Okay, shouldn't be anything to worry about for like, it won't really wipe your team, but it does do significant damage. And the way that you're going to cleanse that, if you want to, right, on the higher difficulties, is you're going to heal the student to full. Right, and then after that happens, the student will be cleansed of the dot. It won't take any more dot damage, and then it will be it won't take the huge AoE either. So right here, he just cast it. You see this 5. It's gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1 on my Sarika, and I can get rid of this right now. The faster the better, because there's a dot component. When I do this, it goes away, right? So she does not take the explosion. So that's something to watch out for. This fight's a lot easier if you just put your speed to like the slowest possible, so you can see all the animations, get used to those, and see in the second phase it gets kind of scary if you don't have it on the slowest, right? And I'll talk about that later. So besides those attacks, you have this Green Lantern, and what this does is this thing, when it's healed to full, it's going to float up in the air for 10 seconds, and it's going to cast a debuff. Now, it's already done it twice because my Serena here has like an auto heal for the lowest target ally. It's already done it. It stacks up to 5 times. Right now I have 2. And this basically is a damage increase, right? Like a damage increase that the boss takes from any of your students, right? So it's just more damage multiplier stacking up to 5. Once it hits 5, this Green Lantern will completely disappear. You don't need to worry about healing it anymore. You won't even have to think about it. And that is it. It will have the permanent 5-stack damage taken increase debuff for the rest of the fight. The only exception to this is if your team dies, then you have to go back in. And when you go back in with your second or third or fourth team, whatever you're on, you will find that the stacks have disappeared and it will go back to 0. But the Green Lantern will be back if you fail, right, that first team. So don't worry about that. You'll just have to restack it up and hopefully kill him with the second team. A little bit more detail about this this lantern thing here. When it goes back down on the ground after that 10 seconds, you see that blue healing debuff? That basically means that this Green Lantern for 20 seconds is going to take 50% less healing. So on this lower difficulty, I can probably still one-shot it with my Serena here. And I'll see that. And yes, well, I didn't actually. You see that? It was like 3/4 healing. If I didn't have that debuff, it would be a full heal. And now I've just kind of wasted an EX skill, right? So it takes like 2. So you really don't want to heal it if the debuff is there. You want to wait until that blue healing debuff is actually removed from the lantern, okay? And then you'll wait for that and heal it again. Once again, slowing the game down helps a lot. Don't forget to heal your students as well. That's pretty much it for the first phase in terms of mechanics. Now, that debuff becomes actually a lot more important in the second phase, because on harder difficulties especially, right, if you're 2-teaming or like you just don't have like the skills built up on these characters, that lantern actually has a lot more HP as the difficulty goes up. So it is very important to not heal it when you have the debuff, because your students might actually die in the meantime if you even miss a single heal, okay? So once again, 5-stack this thing on the boss, and then it'll make all of your students do way more damage. Now, all right, and then here we're going to enter phase 2. There's a cool little cutscene that plays here for You know, it darkens the arena a little bit. And the main mechanic to pay attention to here is this red lantern that you see in the middle of the screen. What this basically does is when you heal it, just like the green one really shouldn't be here at this point. It's only here because I restarted the fight, right? To show you a slowed down version of this. When you heal the lantern to full, it rises up in the air just like the green one and it stuns the boss. The way that you're going to use this is that you're going to only heal it to full when you need to stun the boss's EX skill, right? And you can stun any of them. How do you know if an EX skill is coming? Well, I'm going to slow it down here. You're going to look for black smoke to appear under the boss's feet. You can see it right there, right? And then there's going to be a red ring that appears. Right at this time, or anytime before we see the black smoke, you can heal the lantern to full here. This might be a little bit slow. I think I'm going to miss this one because I'm too slow, right? Yeah, see, I was too slow there. That's why you really want a hero that can one-shot that lantern, and it would have stunned him. The stun bar would have gone to full. Your characters would get more recovery for about 1 second there. Okay, so I'll try to show it again here. You're basically make sure that you have the game on the slowest, and you're going to take your healer and you're going to one-shot the lantern. It's going to rise up into the air, and look at that. See, it stunned him. He kind of recoils, and no damage comes out from that EX skill. Now, this is super important. When you see these yellow squares up here, when that reaches 3 yellow squares, the next EX skill he does will just wipe your team. It'll be like this flashbang on the screen. And it's gonna, no matter what health your heroes are at, it's just gonna be a wipe. Okay, so you can like kind of mess around and get the timings, and if you mess up on some of the earlier ones, not a big deal. Okay, if your students are still alive, but you cannot mess up when these 3 yellow bars are full. So once again, we're waiting around. You know, don't just like randomly heal the red lantern. We're looking for black smoke around the feet. There it is. You see that. When you see that, you're safe to pop your one-shot heal on the red lantern. Rise up, stuns him, right? And then he's kind of like taking more damage this whole time. I'm gonna actually heal this green lantern so I can do this a little bit faster. And then we're gonna look again, right? So we know that you see that yellow box. It's about to one-shot my team. So this next one I can't actually miss, right? And so I'm gonna wait for it. I'm gonna be cautious here, and it should be coming right there. So right there, I'm gonna go ahead and heal this lantern. It's gonna rise up, and hopefully, I think I missed it. I think I missed actually, but at that point it would have stunned him, right? So this is actually a good showcase of what happens when you miss, and it's gonna do this huge light beam, and it's gonna wipe your team. Okay, well basically that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna heal it at the moment that you see the black smoke, hopefully, and you don't mess up like I did, and just keep stunning him over and over. And this entire time, make sure to not only watch out for that, but you also need to watch out for your 4 students' health. And if you have a green lantern, because you are using a 2 team or 3 team or whatever, because the debuff stacks reset, then make sure that what you're going to do is you are going to want to keep that lantern healed at the same time and stack up to 5, and at which point it will disappear. And that's about it. I'm going to flash up on the screen students that are recommended for this. There's a lot of them. Basically, you're looking for red damage first. So people like Shiroko, Sarika, Hina, Aru, Mitsuki, Akari, Hibiki, Azusa, if you were lucky enough to pull her, Shun, those are all good for the attacks. If you think you need a tank, you have Yuka that comes, if you're a newer player, that comes with your account. Aimi is also okay for her. She's red damage. And then for some of your other like support based characters, you have obviously Kotama, super insane for like every raid, and then you have Akane, which you can use for the damage down that I mentioned earlier. Healers, any of them are fine. Chinatsu and Ayane might take a little bit more investment, but personally I really like Hanai and Serena because of how cheap their things are. People like Fuka, she has like a 5 cost, might be a little bit too high. And then Hanako is the newest unit. If you don't have her, not a big deal because she probably won't be built up. So just use whichever healer you feel is built up, and the more healers the better, just to be safe. Okay. Ah, cute! Live 2D, guys. I guess they are kind of cute. I've never seen so many cute plushies. This is so embarrassing. People cute.